I love films, trying to discover what the director was trying to say. Modern films, old films, colour, black and white, westerns, detective, science fiction, I love them all. And in Holy Week we usually see the Hollywood blockbusters telling us of the life of Jesus and the passion of that week. Full of palaces, dazzling light and triumphal music, and John Wayne just as a Roman centurion. However, my favourite film about Jesus is not one of these, but the film Risen, which came out in 2016, starring Joseph Fiennes as the Roman tribune, and Cliff Curtis, who played Jesus stunningly and beautifully. If you have never seen Risen, then do. It's about the Roman tribune and the legionaries with him who were given the awful job of crucifying Jesus. These tough men, who had just put down a Jewish revolt with terrifying efficiency and brutality, saw killing as simply their trade, a job they go about with little or no compassion or thought. And they assumed that this day would be no different. All the amazing events of Good Friday and Easter Day are here in this film, but filmed in such a way that if you are not paying attention, you might miss those moments altogether. You have to pay attention. There is no fanfare, no heavenly choirs singing in the background, simply the people of Jerusalem going about their daily, normal business, because for them it was a perfectly normal day. The sets are dry and dusty. There is little or no grandeur. This low-key approach to the film works well. Well, the legionnaires and tribune soon realise that this death of a man called Jesus is quite different from anything they've ever experienced before. The legionaries never fully understand what was going on that day, but the tribune, who seeks out the disciples, follows them to Galilee, which becomes his pilgrimage, realises gradually who Jesus is. And when he finally sums up the courage to ask and to question Jesus, he has all his concerns washed away and all his questions answered, and he becomes a disciple too. It's about meeting Jesus in the everyday, and it's a good lesson for us all. The events of Good Friday were world-changing. Easter Day teaches us that death is defeated for all who turn to him. Sometimes we assume that our meetings with Jesus will be just as dramatic. Sometimes they are. But what about those moments when we meet Jesus in passing, in the everyday? Do we even recognise him? Do we realise that we've had one of those special Epiphany moments? And the men on that road to Epiphany could so easily have failed to recognise who Jesus was, and we would not have one of the most powerful stories in the Bible. So in the everyday, in the normal routine of life, going about our normal activities and daily activities, no matter how mundane they may be, if we come with an expectation that we will meet Christ, then we will. And if you get the chance, see the film Risen too.